As a child, education was important. I went to Catholic school from kindergarten to 12th grade in Aiken, South Carolina. I was raised Roman Catholic, and so, you know, church and education were extremely important. All my brothers and sisters and I were good students, and my father never understood, you know, anything that if we brought a grade home any lower than an A, he was not happy. So we were always studying and put, I think, our academic work first before having other passions in life. And my parents were involved in the school. My mom was a substitute teacher. She was a Girl Scout leader. She was, you know, she was always there. And my father helped out when there were special projects at the school. One of the schools we went to had a fall festival, and I remember my parents helping a lot with that. They would help raise money for the schools, and so they cared deeply about us getting. Mother attended Loyola University in Chicago, but she never graduated. She never earned a degree, so she always pushed that for us and for her children. I'm one of 7 children, and education was extremely important. We, all my brothers and sisters and I went to college, and we all went to different schools, but we all knew that how strongly our parents felt about, the fact that we should all earn a college degree. It's been exciting to be part of education in my lifetime, because education has changed, I think, on all levels, every aspect of it. We know so much more now about how students learn, how people learn. We know that there are different teaching styles, different learning styles. There are tests that can help individuals know what their strengths and weaknesses are. So I think it's even more exciting than it was when I was a child. Everybody taught the same way. Everybody was expected to act the same way in a classroom. And now I think that the education system in the United States allows for a wider variety, a much more diverse variety of teaching methods and types of schools.
My name is Charlie Wedding. Mostly my father. I had some great teachers in high school. I took a history of Rome class my senior year at high school. That guy was great. Well, I already liked the stuff, and also he was just a great teacher. He was good at lecture. He made it funny, made it interesting. Well, I went to a boarding school called Macaulay in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and the reason I went there pretty much is because my dad went there, my grandpa went there, my grand-uncle went there, 2 of my cousins went there. So that was always kind of going to happen, and I'm glad I went there because it's why I'm where I am today. Well, he was kind of the first one that told me that I had to learn the stuff I didn't find interesting. That was always kind of a problem for me, especially when I was in, say, 4th or 5th grade. I just didn't want to learn math because I hate math. Mm-hmm. But he was kind of like the first one kind of drilled into me, Charlie, you have to learn this stuff. He went to the University of Florida, and then he got his master's at Alabama. It wasn't mandatory, but it was expected.
Okay.
I mean, my sister went to William and Mary, so I kind of had to. I was going to go to college. But I'm more like my mom in a lot of ways because I'm more academically focused. Dad was more socially focused. So, I mean, I think he had more influence on where I wound up. Like, kind of how I got there was more mom. Well, Dad was away a lot when I was a little kid, so she was the one kind of helping me out with the homework most of the time. So that was big. She was always very involved, always all the parent-teacher things and all that. For my dad was finish what you start. That's always kind of something I was always kind of drilled into me. Mm-hmm. With Mom, it was always kind of do your best. That was always her big thing. And I think those are important things to know. And where would the world be without me, really? I'm not really a straight A student, but I do pretty well. Because, one thing I was kind of, for example, the second semester of my senior year of high school, everyone was done by that point. We all got into college, no one really cared anymore. I took a class called a seminar on bioethics. I didn't really like it that much, but I was the only one in there who consistently did everything on time. So, I'm that guy, I guess. It's always, like, I'm going to do my best to get it done well and on time. Work hard, do your best, finish what you start, and, yeah. I would tell them, I would also try to kind of lead by example. I think that's kind of the best way to teach someone, is to do it yourself and let them see it. And, help them out when they need help, and give them advice. For me, it's always very important to know things. I like to know things, even if it's useless trivia. So that's education is very important for that, because it's helped me to learn to think and to learn how to store all this stuff I know. And so I think it's important in life.
I did my undergraduate work at the University of Dayton. I started out as an accounting major, switched to engineering, finally graduated with a degree in philosophy with minors in psychology, theology, and secondary math education. I've done graduate work at Boston College, Notre Dame, the College of St. Joseph, Canisius College, and Niagara University, and the University of Buffalo. I have 60 hours above my bachelor's degree. My father had this philosophy. You go to school and you get a degree and you become a college graduate, so you don't have to work very hard you don't have to do physical work, hard physical work for a living. And to impress that point on us, he got my brother and I roofing jobs in the summer. And my brother came home the first day and said, "Dad, that's not work, it's slavery," because the work is hard and physically demanding. And my father knew that once we had done that, college would be a much better opportunity, and we would take advantage of the fact that he wanted to send us to college. I always encouraged my children to go to school. My oldest boy started college 3 times and it just wasn't for him. My second boy took a year off after high school. We thought he'd never go to college. He ends up graduating on the dean's list at Canisius, and he does international computer work for a French company. And my third son, who was most personality-wise like his father, he has his master's degree in education and teaches physics and earth science in the Adirondack Mountains, and teaches geology and a meteorology course at the local community college. That it continues to go on. I constantly try to improve what I'm teaching, what resources I use. I find it difficult, and I see it in education a lot, teachers who've done the same thing for the last 10 or 15 years, and they continue to do it that way because they've done it that way, and they're unwilling to either think about changing the curriculum or advancing the curriculum or using new techniques or adapting to the needs of students. Students today are much different than they were even as little as 5 or 10 years ago. And I can say that with 45 years of education behind me. The value of college is that it teaches you basically responsibility, time management, and the opportunity to expand what you know and how you know and what you can learn to know. Kids who use college is just a social dimension, or because just for the practical dimension, it's going to get me this job and I'm going to make this money, are missing golden opportunities in college. College should expand their knowledge, increase their ability to interact socially. It should give them the opportunity to see things that perhaps they've never seen before, experience things they've never done before.